What happens when you overcontribute to an RESP? Let's take a look. If contributions are made in excess of the lifetime maximum for a beneficiary, and that's typically $50,000, the excess amount is subject to a penalty tax. The penalty tax is 1% per month of the amount of the overcontribution, payable within 90 days after the end of the overcontribution year. Each subscriber for that beneficiary is liable to pay a tax of 1% per month on their share of the excess contribution that is not withdrawn by the end of the month. So it's kind of, well, it could be an instance of which I'll go over in an example, which is next. Like if a grandmother and the parents took out if the grandparents and the parents took out an RESP for the same child, it's somebody, it should probably the parents' responsibility to make sure that there is only $50,000 total. So that would be in both RESPs, because as long as the RSP is in the beneficiary's name, which is the child, typically they can only have a maximum amount, no matter how many RESPs they are. If they have 10 RESPs, then they can have $5,000 in each RESP. Okay, so it cannot go over $50,000. No matter how many or how few RESPs they have. So let's go over this with an example. All right, Arthur and Molly are subscribers for Ron's RESP. Arthur is Ron's father and Molly is his grandmother. They were not aware that there was a lifetime maximum for contributions to RESPs, and this year they made contributions in excess of the limit. Molly made an excess contribution of $2,500 and Arthur made an excess contribution of $7,500. So here, we'll just go over the amounts. The lifetime maximum is $50,000. And now in Ron's RESP, the total contributions equals $60,000. So there is a $10,000 excess amount. So due to the overcontribution, the excess $10,000 is subject to a penalty tax of 1% per month. This means that Arthur and Molly are each liable to pay a tax of 1% per month on their share of the excess contribution that is not withdrawn by the end of the month. So the penalty tax amounts to $100 per month total. So that's $10,000 times the 1% penalty. So Arthur's share is $75 per month, because he put in $7,500, and 1% of $7,500 is $75. And Molly's share is $25 per month, because 1% of $2,500 is $25. So the penalty tax is payable within 90 days after the end of the overcontribution year. This means that Arthur and Molly have 3 months to either withdraw the excess amount or pay the penalty tax. So you can, you can avoid the tax, but just know that there is a limit to RESP's amounts, and that you need to keep track of how much. If there's more than one RESP, if you have one for your child and the grandparents have one, for instance, for the same child, just make sure you know how much is in each one, so you do not overcontribute and be subject to a penalty tax, because nobody wants that. So that's what happens when you overcontribute to an RESP.